A reading from the Gospel of John. Now before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know now what I'm doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "One who has bathed does not need to wash except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who was to betray him. For this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe and returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and your teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them." When he had gone out, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. If God has been glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and will glorify him at once. Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me. And as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Judas is ready to leave the table. He'll be off to seal the deal on Jesus' arrest and collect the handsome reward. The conspirators, a handful of religious authorities with an axe to grind, are laying out the final measures of the plan, setting the trap that once and for all will ensnare Jesus. At this point in the story, Jesus sees the handwriting on the wall. His hour has come, John reports. The time has come for Jesus to depart from this world and go to the Father. The hour of suffering and death arrives. It's a good time to run. If Jesus heads out now, he'll be halfway to Nazareth by this time tomorrow. Better yet, head west, toward the coast, board a boat, and keep sailing until you're 1,000 miles from all this trouble. Jesus, leave it all behind. Jesus could go. He should go. Run, not walk. There's time. He has the power. It'll hurt to leave everything and everyone behind, but this is a matter of life and death, Jesus. Save yourself. Surely it crosses his mind, doesn't it? But he stays. And at the middle of the meal, Jesus stands up from the table. He ties the towel around his waist and pours the water. Humbling himself, he kneels before his students and one by one washes their feet. He's assumed the role of house servant, not the host, the lowly one, not the exalted. Now, some protest, of course. I should be washing your feet, one of them says, probably speaking for all. But Jesus insists, unless I wash you, you have no share in me. And with that, the disciple retreats. Lord, not just my feet, but my hands and head as well. One by one, he kneels before his disciples and cares for their feet. And as he washes, he recounts their journeys together. Internally, he celebrates their growth, their faithfulness, their potential. The moment is both beautiful and brutal. They are loved by him. He will miss them all, but there is no other way forward. Only the hill, only the crown of thorns, only the cross. With the task complete, Jesus returns to the table and begins to teach them for a final time. Do you know what I have done to you? He asks. You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You should love one another. And by this, everyone will know that you are my disciples. It's been said, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. On this Maundy, Thursday, we give thanks for the one who loves us most, the one who shows us the length and breadth and depth of courage, the one who endures the cross because we cannot. And as we look to him, as we look to the cross, as we prepare ourselves for the brutality of Good Friday, we also give thanks for the humble servants among us who continue to respond to his courage by living courageously for us. May the example of Jesus and the humility of his people give us strength and stoke our courage. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples. Amen.